What was that reaction? What was the prize cards? Double Dark Energy in the secret box, right? The double Dark Energy is probably the big deal here, to be honest. Appreciate the primes up there at the state. Secret box being prizes, honestly, in this matchup is kind of like whatever. Bro just pogged hard IRL. Literally, yeah. He saw no secret box. I thought he didn't even like look through his deck fully, and he was like, oh. We should get this up there. Stefan the Red over to Zeitbrius. Welcome to the pack. What round is this? How many? This is round 4 out of 8. All right, Monkey Dory discovered here off the Artisan. How many Dark Energy are in the list, though? Can we even use the Monkey Dory? Second Ralts making its way to the field. Tetra Treat. Interesting. That feels a little weird. And then passes. Okay. Immediately into the Artisan. Doesn't even... Well, I'm sure he looked at his hand before putting it face down. I'm sure he looked at his hand before putting it face down. He's against some turbo deck because of the Squawk, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's fair, right? You see the Squawk start, you're probably like, all right, I'm up against some kind of turbo deck. It is some build of Dragapult. I mean, it could be like Golden Go Dragapult, I guess. Let's go back and take a look at those prize cards real fast. Double Dark Energy, like I mentioned. What about on the other side? What do we prize? 1 Dracloak, 1 Candy, 1 Counter Catcher. There's the Badoo being searched out off the Artisan. Interesting to use the Artisan, but there we go. Okay, we do have the Poffin. I was like, it's interesting to use the Artisan before you Squawk and Seize. Unless we're just maybe not going to Squawk and Seize. That's possible. Be Duskull being found. All right, the answer is they had 2 Poffin in hand. All right, I was gonna say, I guess this makes sense if you have 2 Poffin in hand. How many matches tonight? 10 rounds of Swiss into Top Cut. Second Duskull and Treepy found. Possibility for a pretty aggressive turn 2 is there, but honestly, just aggressive plays in general moving forward through the Dusknors are going to be available. Appreciate the primes up there. Brighty. What round are we watching? We are currently in round 11. Round 11 of 15. Jeez. There's the Jamming Tower as well. That could be pretty big to shut down TM Evo and into the Squawk and Seize. 6 new cards on the way. Looks like a Dusknor is making his way to the discard pile. We can recover that later with the Night Stretcher. Looks like an Artisan, Nestball, and Boss. Attach Luminous Retreat. You don't want to see that. Attach to Dreepy is definitely what you're looking for. And then into the Dingus for 10. Okay, let's see what's going to come up here on the other side. There's Curlia. There's Curlia. What else do we got in the hand here? Some thought. Monkey Dingus number 2 into the Research, losing Psychic Energy and Night Stretcher. Getting 7 cards. Appreciate the primes up there. Bloodhaven's best. Welcome to the pack. Lost all our marbles. We got plenty of cottage cheese. All items can be played, obviously. See a Bravery Charm in the hand. And, I mean, they're looking at this one card. Clefairy is there. And attached to Clefairy for turn. Okay. Ooh, they have Bravery Charm for Clefairy as well to protect it from getting Gust KO'd by the Dragapult. Of course, oh, but Jamming Tower's in play as well. Oh, puts on the Mew instead. Okay, interesting. Mew over the Clefairy. I mean, Jamming Tower's in play currently. So it doesn't really matter where it is. Loke number 1 hits the field. Dusclops hits the field. Are we about to go into an Iono here, potentially? No, into a Research. Okay. Goodbye, Night Stretcher. Buddy Poffin. I cannot tell what that card is in between them. It is a card, though. Are you going to watch all the rounds? That's the plan. I had an energy drink earlier. So the plan is to stay up, watch all the rounds. Feeling pretty good right now. Not really very sleepy at all. So yeah, the plan is to try and stay up the whole time. A little scary. Double Dusclops online already. Those Curlias on the bench are in danger. And there's just the Badoo again for 10 more damage onto the active. Gardevoir EX would be pretty nice to just be protected against the potential Dragapult next turn. Into another Research here. Okay. The players back and forth with the Researches. And honestly, if we can find a Dark Energy, if you could find Dark Energy plus Gardevoir EX here, I feel like you're in a pretty good spot to start being aggressive on the Gardevoir side. Monkey Dory will be able to KO the Badoo with its ability, and then start swinging to whatever comes up after that. Oh, double Guard EX to protect the Curlias. Pretty good. Yo, appreciate the 87 months there, Chip. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little blue. Wait, what? He is very animated. It's pretty funny. What time is it locally for you right now? It's only 8 p.m. currently, but still got quite a few rounds to go. How late you think it's gonna go? I feel like usually it goes to around like 3, 4 a.m. Oh, there is the Dark Energy. Are we not gonna be aggressive here? Just pass. Not gonna get aggressive. We could have accelerated Psychic Energy to the active. Monkey Dory the damage over to the Badoo to KO it. Instead, just gonna take our time. Interesting. Yeah, the possibility to get aggressive was there. We just chose not to. We could have gotten like 2 prize cards. Dusknoir hitting the field. KOing the Badoo never feels good. KOing Badoo is kind of mid. Neo Upper Energy is the A-spec of choice. Okay, that's interesting. I would have expected Unfair Stamp. Rocking the Neo Upper. It is a pretty aggressive list with research, so like naturally drawing into the Neo Upper shouldn't be too difficult. We grab the Iono off the Loke, and then we go into another Loke off the Brock. Are we just both going to be sitting here taking our time? Second Loke hitting the field. Oh, we refound the Neo Upper. It looks like another Loke as well. What's going to be the play? Well, that would be interesting. I guess with the Neo Upper Energy, you could attack with Dusknoir, if that's what they're thinking here. Instead, they split the fires on the Draklokes, and then, once again, Badoo for 10. Is the Guardy player going to get it? See, I feel like that's what... The Guardy player, I feel like, should have just got aggressive last turn. Why not get aggressive last turn as the Guardy player? Are you just not going to get aggressive this turn either? I guess if you're not going to get aggressive last turn, like... Now, if we do see them be aggressive this turn, that feels weird. To have not gotten aggressive last turn. Clefairy with Pearl plus Neo Upper equals 0 prizes. You're thinking of not Neo Upper, but Legacy Energy. See, why wouldn't we? See, I don't understand why we didn't just do this last turn then. We just gave the Dragon Ball player one more turn. The Squawk push is interesting. Secret Box found off the prize cards. Can't play it. He's very excited for it though. Very animated. Yeah, when the Squawk push is interesting. I guess you're going to be playing for like a full Iono combo on the next turn as Dragapult. Attach Retreat the active into the Gardevoir. It looks like we're going to get 3 prize cards here. And the next is going to be Pop Nor, Pop Dusclops. I guess you could like pop... You can like KO the Clefairy off the bench by popping a Nor on it. I don't understand why we didn't Bravery Charm the Clefairy as well. That feels a little bit off, to be honest. Ooh, are we going to sacrifice the Clefairy here? Interesting. Clefairy gets pushed to sacrifice here. Oh, okay. I feel like the play here on the Dragapult side is to try and KO Mew and Clefairy in the same turn. I mean, the Team Evo is always going to the discard pile here, so I don't know why this is that big of a deal. Oh, because of Jamming Tower. Jamming Tower stops it from getting discarded. Okay, it does actually matter. Good catch from the judges. So yeah, so here, the best play I see, pop Dusclops on the bench Mew, pop Dusknoir on the Clefairy, Iono to 1, countercatcher KO Mew, KO Clefairy. That seems like the best play here. Gotta find the countercatcher. We have the Iono in hand. Countercatcher is the question now. Why would you not swing with Guardy there? Honestly, I'm not 100. It does, like, because the Clefairy setup is maybe just too good. Where you just Dusknoir to the Clefairy and then... Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. Dude, this is a 3-3-2 Dusknoir line. There's 3 Dusclops in this list. Which means there's definitely 3 Duskulls. And there's 2 Dusknoirs. This is a 3-3-2 Dusknoir lineup here. That is a thick... That's as thick as it gets. It don't be no thicker than that. See a Super Rod. Thinking about playing it. I don't even know what you'd recover here though, to be honest. Dusknoir Pop. Goes onto the Mew. Wait, can you do this the same way by just putting all the damage on the Mew? Am I trolling? Oh yeah, you can just Dusknoir the Mew. Yeah, I am just trolling. I actually am just trolling. You can just pop Dusknoir and Dusclops onto the Mew. And then KO the active plus KO the Mew with the spread damage. Don't mind me. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Put the Dusknoirs back in the deck. This would allow us to spread more damage to something else instead. Neo upper to the active, and then there's your Iono. So we don't even need Counter Catcher this turn. Because I'm bad at math. We actually don't even need Counter Catcher. We can KO active plus KO Mew, removing all draw power from play. We didn't pop the Dusclops, though, before the Iono. So now it's an Iono to 2, plus a potentially draw card off prize cards. This is actually such a bad... I don't like the sequence here. I feel like we should have popped Dusclops before we played the Iono here. Because now... It's gonna be a 3-card hand instead of a 1-card hand. That's 3 times the amount of cards. That's more cards. They do get to go Dusknoir KO Mew, but how is that ever better? This just seems bad. The Dusclops isn't gonna get popped though? Why not? We don't KO the Mew currently. We're gonna leave the draw power in play for Night Stretcher lose? Oh, because the freaking Bravery Charm isn't active, Jamming Tower. Okay, my bad. Dude, I was like, this makes no sense. It makes fine sense. It makes fine sense. All right, we still got there. 4 prize turn, 2 prize cards remaining with the possibility of using a Dusknoir on the next turn. The question is Clefairy found, I feel like. Draw for turn. It is a 3-card hand. There's the Arven for Night Stretcher for the Clefairy, and that is going to do it. Game over. Night Stretcher, recover Clefairy, Guardy KOs the Dragapult. The play was there. The play was there. Yeah, I'm tripping. I forgot about the Jamming Tower. Clefairy, triple load up to the active, and then knock out the Dragapult for game. Guardy gets the dub. It was a close one, though. Honestly, that was a close one. The comeback was definitely there for sure. Oh, that's Haru on the right? Okay. Haru on the right, okay. That's a pretty good hand there, too. Double Dreepy and the Arven with a backup Arven for the next turn. This on their official YouTube channel or something? Yes. What made Guardy better in this format? Or was just actually consistent? I mean, I don't think anything... Guardy was pretty good last format. I mean, I think it's hard to say that Guardy's... I don't know if... it's hard to say that Guardy got better. Or Alicia's really actually consistent. I think Guardy's just a good deck, yeah. Guardy's just a good deck still. Guardy is still just a good deck. It'd be hard to say that it for sure got any better. Both these players are also 10-1. There's an attached to Mew. 1 Rolls to the bench. And then there's the pass. Clefairy was definitely an upgrade. Yeah. Clefairy was definitely an upgrade. Yeah, for sure. But they also had a lot of downgrades, so... All right. Arven on the other side. And like, oh, it looks like a... We do got... there's a Shaman in there. Double Badoo, Hawlucha, Dusknoirs, Luminous Energy. Okay, there's some stuff in here. There's some stuff in this build for sure. And it looked like a crystal. Yep, and they're putting the crystal on the screen there. It is a sparkling crystal build. Everyone downgraded, though? Yeah, that's true, exactly. Everyone did downgrade. When everyone says Guardy is still fine, what build do they mean? Blender or other non-Blender builds? I don't know exactly what everyone is playing. I mean, Blender's a thing. Secret Box is a thing. I don't think there's a specific build people are talking about. The community in general seems pretty undecided in what they think is the optimal way to play the deck. I would say that, I guess. See many different takes still. Last guy played Secret Box. Yeah, the last guy played Secret Box. We don't know what A-Spec's in this build. But if we see Secret Box, I would definitely say it seems like it's trending towards the Secret Box. So Vessel and TM Evo here found off the Arvin. This might mean that we're actually going for an Evo line this turn. Does that mean we're attaching the energy to the Badoo for turn? That just feels so bad. But I guess. Psychic and Fire being searched out here. No Stamp and Pulp feels like trolling. Remember, they are playing in a different format than us. This is not the same format that we're playing in. So it's hard to say for sure that something is like wrong in their format. Like us saying it's correct to play Unfair Stamp in our format and it's incorrect for them to play Crystal instead of Unfair Stamp feels a little weird, of course, because yeah, it's just two different formats, right? So always keep that in mind. There we go. There's the TM Evo. Stamp is great to beat Terror Box. Yeah, but now they have Shaman, right? So like they don't need Stamp to beat Terror Box anymore because you just have Shaman to beat Terror Box. That's probably, now that we're like talking about it, that's probably one of the main reasons, right? Now you just beat Terror Box by benching Shaman. You don't need to like, you're not getting as overwhelmed by Terror Box from the Water Pawn anymore. All right, double Loke search out here from the TM Evo. I do see an Arvin in the hand there. I mean, that's where Candy Gardevoir, literally right there. The attachment to the Mew was interesting. I mean, you can Candy Guardy plus attach for turn and then draw one off of the Mew. You could also, I mean, what else would you actually even ever do here? And then you get to item lock with Badoo. So I feel like that has to be the play. It doesn't feel great. I mean, it's something though. Double Badoo build as well. It is a Brilliant Blender build. So the last build we saw last round was the Secret Box. Someone in chat did ask, what is the way that people are trending with the A-Specs? Last build we saw was Secret Box. This build is Brilliant Blender. I have no idea what's optimal, but... Oh, they do have Night Stretcher in hand. Okay, this is actually going to be kind of cool. They're going to Brilliant Blender away. Now, I don't know what they're going to get rid of here. You could get rid of Kirlia. So you can evolve the Ralts to a Kirlia. You also have a Dark Energy in hand, so you could get rid of the Monkey Dory. But I feel like it's got to be the Kirlia here, probably. It looks like alongside 3 Psychic Energy. Oh, there is a Kirlia to get rid of. They're also eyeing up Buddy Poffins, or maybe they're just counting prize cards here. I did see a Brox in there. Get rid of triple Psychic Energy. What? We're not going to take value out of that Night Stretcher? Am I trolling? We're drawing like no cards off this Mew now. Wait, that's got to be a mistake, right? Not getting rid of Kirlia there makes no sense. We're drawing like one card off our Mew here. With their reaction there, I feel like they did mess up and they're realizing they messed up, to be honest. Yeah, with the reaction, it seems like they messed up and they're realizing they messed up. Hang on, we'll see though. No, it's just a pass now. That's definitely a huge mistake there. What the heck? Yeah. Maybe they thought they were item locked. Maybe they thought they were item locked just because the Badoo was in the active. Yeah, they realized they messed up. They're laughing it off now. Definitely a big mistake, and they realize it for sure. Crystal top deck there on the Dragapult side. That's big. That could allow him to play a different supporter besides the Arvin. There's Ultra Ball. Ooh, and Boss Kale Ralts, and then put some on the Mew. Ooh, that's not bad. Oh, now we have a Dragapult EX. We don't even have to play the Ultra Ball. We could just take the Dragapult EX. We can Boss KO the lone Ralts in play, spread damage to the Mew to then clean up the Mew on a following turn. I mean, whether it's a Kirlia or a Ralts, it was going down either way, so. But we would have been able to draw one card off of the... Yeah. Item lock, but activated Blender. Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's like some kind of brain fart for sure. Playing Blender, you're like, oh, I'm item locked. You're like you play the Blender, and you're like, all right, playing my Blender. It's like, oh, I could get rid of my Kirlia. Oh, I'm item locked. I can't get rid of my Kirlia. Did they have Candy in hand? They did not have Candy in hand. No. They could have gotten Candy off Arvin, but then they didn't have any energy in the discard pile to work with the Candied Gardevoir. Goes for the Dragapult here, so they don't have to commit the Ultra Ball. I mean, they commit the Ultra Ball to something else, but maybe getting Dreepy would make more sense there. But also I guess getting a Duskull down this turn is like really, really strong. Rescue board and oh, they do play Halucha. They do play Halucha. They must be going for Halucha here instead of playing boss. That must be what the play is here. I was like kind of confused. Just Badoo. I guess they're scared of Mew plus Clefairy. So this, I guess this is probably okay. This is probably good. Knowing your opponent, knowing what your opponent did on their last turn, this is probably good enough to be honest. To just slow the game down for another turn. Don't play into Mew plus Clefairy. And now this turn, when you have the extra energy in play to work with, potentially, on your next Dracloak, is the turn you get aggressive. And here comes the Monkey Dory as well to get a prize card. The hand for the Guardy player is pretty weak. Would have been nice to evolve into your Gardevoir here. If there was a Kirlia in play, we might have seen them be a little bit more aggressive and go boss KO the Kirlia. Boss Mew, Halucha, kill Ralts. The Mew has a Bravery Charm on it, so it wouldn't quite get knocked out. The Bravery Charm would be tough to deal with there. Jack and Night Stretcher. Jack seems pretty good here. Looks like Dreepy was the top deck. Dracloak number 2. Looking for an energy here, I feel like, to play around. No energy, though. So we don't have a great way to play around the potential of Mew plus Clefairy right now. If we go for this boss play. Can boss KO the Lone Ralts. But then all of a sudden, if there's attached to Mew plus Clefairy, I would KO our only setup Dragapult in play with no EXP share established. There's the boss, so we're going for the line here. Oh, just goes for... Ooh, okay. I don't hate this. Just goes for the 70 KO. Keeps the crystal. We save our crystal, but if Mew knocks us out, what is our response? Boss KO Clefairy then? There's the attach to the Mew. There's some supporter top deck there. Nice Stretcher to get the Ralts. Pheasantipity in hand to work with as well. I don't know what the supporter is. Fez makes its way to the bench. Professor's Research. Okay. We are now bench locked out of second Ralts plus Clefairy, but Mew Clefairy might be enough to win this game by itself, and there's the Clefairy. So even if you don't get a second Ralts down this turn, if the Mew and the Clefairy aren't respected, then the game might just be over anyways. Here comes the Pheasantipity for 3. Although I definitely do question the Pheasantipity grab here. Second Clefairy, 2 Clefairies. Chill out. Clefairy makes its way to the bench. We have a Bravery Charm to work with here as well to protect the Clefairy from getting Gust KO'd. And then, yeah, now Mew can copy the Dragapult's attack. Knock out the Dragapult, spread 6 to the bench. Won't be picking up any other knockouts. There's no Duskulls on the bench to take advantage of. I believe there is Dusknoir in this build on the Dragapult side. I believe I saw a Dusknoir. Definitely plays Halucha. Currently getting searched out. We can't evolve the Ralts this turn, of course. We're just getting established and hand thinning out the deck of those other dead cards. Dragapult not kill with the second attack. Because then they would lose their crystal, and then they would be in a worse spot. Because then they would lose their crystal. So the way they played this was like remove the only Ralts from play, but I don't want to give you... I want to make sure I can attack with Dragapult next turn. If you commit the crystal to the active, then the Dragapult dies to the Mew attack. Okay, I thought they were about to Badoo there for a second. I was like, there's no way we would Badoo here. What the heck? Then here's the Mew attack. Jamming Tower, Halucha, KO, Mew, and Ralts. If you Jamming Tower, you lose your Sparkling Crystals, so you can't Jamming Tower. The Sparkling Crystal is a one-time usage tool. No, but if you attach the Sparkling Crystal to your active Dragapult last turn, it dies to Mew, and then your follow-up is to punch for 70 with your follow-up Dragapult because you lost your way to use Phantom... Why am I thinking Phantom Dive? Whatever the big attack is. You just don't have a big follow-up. But you only wanted to do that turn was KO Ralts. The Ralts got KO'd. All you want to do that turn was KO Ralts. You can KO Ralts without using Phantom Dive. Is it called Phantom Dive? Oh. Yeah, you can KO the Ralts without using Phantom Dive. If you commit to the Phantom Dive to KO the Ralts, all of a sudden, if you get return KO'd, you don't have a follow-up Dragapult that can use Phantom Dive. That's why they didn't commit the Crystal. That's why they didn't commit the Crystal. Because they want to commit the Crystal this turn, which they now can, but... Honestly, this situation is kind of a yikes. Like, the Mew's got a Bravery Charm. The Clefairy's got a Bravery Charm. You can't KO the Mew. I mean, I feel like we're punching for 70 here. I feel like this turn is going to be set up a Dragapult. Dragapult punches Mew for 70. And then next turn you commit to being able to do a full attack. Or you... Dude, honestly, this seems tough. Yeah, this seems tough. Maybe we're Badoo. Badoo punching the active is so slow, though. I guess we can pop a Dusknoir next turn. We can hide behind Badoo this turn, and then pop a Dusknoir plus attack with Dragapult next turn, and try and combo that with an Iono, I guess. Is one Lily's Pearl and Gardevoir interesting? It seems like okay. I'm not sure it's better than a Bravery Charm, though. A lot more versatility with the Bravery Charm. It doesn't look like he plays Jamming Tower because Crystal. Yeah, probably does not run the Jamming Tower. Probably not. He's playing the Crystal, yeah. Looks like an Ultra Ball being lined up. Okay, Ultra Ball comes in. I think is that a Brox on the bottom card? Buddy Puffin and Brox? Looks like it. Yeah, so I think the approach here has to be Badoo for a turn into Duskull Iono, Dragapult on the next turn. So Badoo to slow things down, then kind of go from there. Oh, also wait, if you Badoo into the Mew, the Guardy player doesn't have a response. I just realized they can't get a prize card that turn because Mew copying Badoo doesn't do anything. You stop the candy from the Gardevoir, so you actually buy a full turn here. Oh no, you do have Monkey Dory. You could retreat to Monkey Dory and knock out the Badoo. I guess you do have a way to draw a prize card here, actually. Yeah, so that would be the play then. As long as they can find a Psychic Energy. But they are down quite a few Psychic Energy at this point. Local number 2 being activated. Iono discovered. I don't think we played a supporter yet. We could play Iono this turn, or we could wait a turn. At the rest of your board so we can move the active into the Badoo. We also have the Jack, which is another thing we could play for turn as well. Another Dreepy hitting the bench. We have another Dracloak to work with it the next turn. Maybe we do just hold this hand for turn. Well, we want to get an energy attachment for turn down, though, I feel like. I feel like we want to find an energy attachment for turn. So we maybe do just commit to the Iono here. Crystal gets put into play. And yeah, here comes the Iono. Oh, maybe not. They're giving us some thought. Pretty big hand on the other side. It's like a 6-card hand. Could put it down to 3. Of course, there's still the Mew in play for some kind of draw power, but I think I like the Iono here. I think we want to find an attachment for turn. I think we want to find an attachment for turn to the active Dracloak here. Split our energy up. Because if... Now, I don't know. I don't think many Guardy players play boss. But if they do play boss, they could boss that Dracloak with the Crystal and knock it out. So if we don't have another energy in play to work with, we're in trouble, so... Now, I think most Guardies don't play boss, though. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. That hand does not have energy. Honestly, that hand just kind of sucks. Well, it's got Dragapult. And it's also got Hawlucha. Okay, it's not that bad. Giving Crystal is so bad if you don't K Iono. That is fair, yeah. You basically, if you're going to put the Crystal in play, you should Iono. Well, what if you're playing around their Iono, though? I don't know if that's actually true, Jay, because what if they Iono you? Right? And Guardy does play quite a few Iono. It would depend how many are in the discard pile probably to make that call, but yeah, I don't know if I actually fully agree with that, to be honest. It's important to have for next turn. And I feel like Guardy just doesn't play boss. I believe the hand does have a research in it and is playing it. We lose Screamtail and a Night Stretcher here. Trying to find the Curlia. If there is... No, I think there is a Curlia left in deck. Oh, no, it's on the bottom of the deck now, right? Because we Ultra Balled for it. Ooh, no Psychic Energy to be able to attack with Monkey Dory. We do have Candy Guardian in hand, but of course we got Badooed. So the response here is probably Mew copy Badoo to do 10 damage, I think. Which doesn't feel great, but honestly... Oh, you can also retreat to your own Badoo. Do you want your Mew in the active, I guess, is maybe a question, right? Dark Energy making its way down to Pheasantipity could be used as an attacker later on, but also be able to retreat it as well. Yeah, what do you want in your active here, Mew or Badoo? And they're saying Badoo, so they're pushing their own Badoo to the active here. They can move this damage off their Mew. It's going to make its way over to the Badoo, and they're going to go ahead and Badoo for 10 here. 3 prize cards away. Did not get a prize card this turn, which is what the Dragapult player was trying to prevent. But if Guardy does make its way online, going after that Badoo is not going to be that big of a deal moving forward. So removing the Ralt from play is going to be a big deal this turn to prevent the possibility of Gardevoir. Or if you Badoo, well, you can't really Badoo again because the Monkey Door will move the damage back over. So you kind of want to avoid that. So I think this does, I think we're going to see a Dragapult attack this turn. Dragapult attacking this turn? I don't know. Dragapult attacking this turn isn't even, it's like fine. I don't know. Dragapult attacking this turn doesn't even seem that good. If you can attack with back-to-back Dragapults. Back-to-back, if you can set up back-to-back Dragapults here, I think you just win. There's an energy. If we play EXP share and get an EXP share down on the Dreepy. No, but then when if Mew copies the Dragapult's attack, it always... Oh, how do you win? Dude, how do we win this? I'm trying... Oh, so we can't KO Ralts. Okay, so the play actually... dude, this is bad. The play has to be like Dusclops the Clefairy, Gust, KO Clefairy. No, it's better to KO the Mew though, right? Okay, no, I think the win con is... Oh, wait, didn't we have a counter catcher in hand? I think the win condition is pop Dusclops plus counter catcher KO Mew, right? And KO Ralts. Yeah, if we KO Mew and Ralts in the same turn, we're in a good spot, right? That's the play, KO Mew and Ralts. Then that actually kind of begs the question, should the Guardy player have actually attached to Clefairy for turn, actually? They're item locked? Oh, they're item locked. They can't even counter catcher. Oh my gosh. Dude, I can't come up with a win. I don't have a win condition. I don't think it exists. I don't think a win condition... I don't know how you ever win this. Yeah, I don't know how you ever win this scenario. There's too much. There's too much to overcome in this situation. The Bravery Charms just make it impossible. And also you got... Oh, for the way this situation developed, Badoo is cutting off your counter catcher, which is pretty miserable. Did he not have a Lucha? He had a Lucha, but it doesn't even make any sense to use it. They missed so many energy attachments. Yeah, that was really the biggest thing, is the amount of energy attachments that were missed. Drackloak, push the active. Pass. Okay, they did play the Iono this turn, which means Candy Guardian might not be available. I do see a Candy. I do see an Arven. As long as there's an Ultra Ball left in the deck, that equals Candy Guardian. I don't know how you ever win this game if Candy Guardian... Oh, happens. Just attach to Clefairy and Iono. Wait, isn't Candy Guardian just better there if there's an Ultra Ball left? How do you lose if you get Candy Guardian this turn? There's a Curlia. That's not a... Because we had Candy... Maybe there's no Ultra Ball in the deck. Maybe we're out of Ultra Ball. Draws one off the Mew. And you could just Badoo here again, once again, to... The big thing you're preventing here is the counter catcher. Yep, just gonna go for Badoo for 10. Keep things slow. Gets the energy attachment down to the Clefairy. Now the Clefairy is just simply a psychic energy away from being able to attack and knock out a Dragapult. And once again, there's still only one Dragapult set up at this point, but this did buy another turn, actually, to potentially be able to set up back-to-back Dragapults at this point. But there's no good knockout this turn still, unless you're gonna pop a Dusknoir or a Dusclops, and then that makes things even worse, I feel like. Dude, once again, I'm just still I kind of just don't see a line. The hand doesn't look that good either. Not a ton of good options. We have attachment for turn to the Dracloak. Actually, it's making his way down to the Duskull. And pass. Okay, once again, Gardevoir still seems pretty good here. And, oh, all right, that's game. Boss on the Dragapult. Mew copies Dragapult, KOs the Dragapult, and then KOs the Duskull or the Badoo off the bench. And that's game over. The Mew is so powerful in this matchup, man. Jesus, it's just... you lose. You can't win. It's tough. That's really bad. Holy smokes. I wonder if you need something like Ursaluna on the Dragapult side. So you can send up something that's like... But even then, you would just die to... I don't know. That's tough, man. I don't know. That's tough.